ocular impairment.
She was... blind. She was blind. Blind,
As in?
not able to see. That must be her. And she could still be there now. We were
Planning to just...
vaporize the whole thing from suborbit.
But sure, we can go.
Rescue your sister?
That'll be fun.
Joe!
Are Jim and Gemma evil? Welcome everybody to a new segment here on our channel. For those of you wondering where all the other segments have gone, like all of my various plays of Fallout 4, blame YouTube. When I made the Sentai Sins video, I got copyright strikes from Toy, and now I cannot upload a video longer than 15 minutes, and Twitch will not actually allow me to export videos, even split up, into segments larger than 15 minutes. And since I have no new toys to review, well, I think you can see where this is going. Anyway, hopefully this video will come in under the 15-minute mark and will give you something interesting to think about. So, let's move on and continue, shall we? Are Gem and Gemma of Power Rangers RPM evil? So, we have here on the side screen, which you can't see, but if you want to know, it's episode 17 of Power Rangers RPM, Prisoners. And in this episode, Gem and Gemma comment on how they have found a number of new locations of Venjix manufacturing plants, and in these manufacturing plants, they're manufacturing grinders. Their plan is to go and, of course, blow them up, as they are wont to do. But one line of dialogue was notable to me, and it kept coming back to me as I was working on the Mystic Force RIR fic, which has a RPM crossover segment. Gem and Gemma said, and I quote, "We were just planning to blow the place up from suborbit. A place that they themselves were prisoners at, and know has human slaves working on making grinders. That's right. Gem and Gemma were going to blow up people." So again, I ask you, are Gem and Gemma evil? Well, for that, I think we're going to have to reflect back on something that not a lot of us in the community like to think about. A man named Jonathan Sakor. Jonathan Sakor is one of the founding executive creators of Power Rangers. He's been around and created such numerous and wonderful shows as Wild Force, even Time Force, one of the most well-loved series. His name is the executive producer on, I'd say, probably a good half of the entire series' runs. And he is a Sentai fan, and I'm a Sentai fan, so that's no problem. But he's an uber Sentai fan. And like an uber Sentai fan, he sees Sentai, and thus, by extension, Power Rangers, as having singular continuities. One show exists, and the previous other shows that exist after it and before it don't exist in the same continuity. That's fine. Works for Sentai. Sentai doesn't really have a continuous narrative like Power Rangers is wont to do. And in fact, early on, there is a quote of him saying that each season of Power Rangers is in its own continuity. While events similar to previous seasons may have happened, those events are not the same events. Meaning that, by his conception of how Power Rangers works, the second season of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is not using the same characters. They're dimensionally similar characters. Sort of like sliders. Different realities, same people. But the world of Power Rangers Season 1 ends with the Power Rangers defeated, the Megazords destroyed, and Rita basically gloating in victory. The world of Turbo ends with the command center destroyed, with Elgar destroying it, with Zordon and Alpha captured, and with the turbo powers gone. And in fact, if you watch most Power Rangers seasons and look at the finale, the end episodes of it, that's a pretty common theme. Either the Rangers' powers are destroyed, or they're returned, in the case of Wild Force, where they return them back to Princess Shayla. So then, if each world itself is its own continuity, not continuing on to the next season, but having events similar to the previous season, then we have to wonder. Given that we know RPM from its own showrunners, and of course Samurai Super Megaforce, exists in its own continuity, would it be that unreasonable to assume that the world of RPM, which we know is a post-apocalyptic holocaust, took place, say, in the Mighty Morphin Season 1 universe? A world where the Power Rangers were defeated. You could also make the argument for Turbo, but you get the point. Let's say it's Mighty Morphin Season 1's universe. No other Power Rangers have existed for the next 18 years. The Power Rangers have been defeated. Their Zords have been defeated. Rita is triumphant and victorious. Maybe the Machine Empire comes in. We don't know, because events of the future aren't necessarily going to be reflected. We just know events of the past are. So, in such a world where evil is won, the Rangers are defeated, and there's a bunch of Ranger tech lying on the ground, is a group such as Alphabet Soup so unreasonable to imagine forming? A group of scientists trying to basically save the world that's basically already been doomed? And if such an organization did exist, is it unreasonable to imagine that they might look for super geniuses, people who could jumpstart the next generation of Power Rangers, which, again, going by our theory here, haven't been around for over a decade. So, they see a super genius like Dr. K and bring her into the fold. They see a pair of super geniuses like Gemma and Gemma, who they are able to raise in their institution. An institution of complete and total knowledge and learning. An institution that has no concept of socializing, because their goals are to develop technologies to save the world from a threat that's already there. And then Vengeance happens and screws everything even worse. So, Jim and Gemma were raised in an organization completely academic, a place where the only thing that they've ever been taught their entire lives is, here's an equation, solve it. Here's an equation, solve it. Here's a computer program called Vengeance, teach it how to crack ciphers. This is all they know. They don't know how to socialize with other kids. They haven't been raised. They haven't gone to kindergarten. All they know is, here's a problem, solve it. So, Vengeance takes over the world. It's a post-apocalyptic dystopia, and there's one bastion of human civilization left. What is the problem Gem and Gemma are facing? What is the problem they have to solve? Vengeance is producing grinders in factories. What is the solution to get rid of his production facilities? Blow it up from suborbit. So, are Gem and Gemma evil? No, I wouldn't say so. But you could certainly make the argument that they're sociopaths. They, by definition, have no concept and no concern for human life, because they don't understand the concept of human life. They know humanity has to be preserved, but sacrificing a dozen, 2 dozen humans to save the last bastion of humanity from an evil alien robot overlord? The ends justify the means. So, Gem and Gemma, are they evil? I don't think so. What do you think?